This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
This is the April 2nd, 2024 licensing board meeting. Meeting is open. First order of business, reorganization of the board. Have a two new members of the board. So someone needs to make a motion to select someone to be the chair. Okay.
You are telling.
Someone second that motion?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the motion. Could you speak into the microphone a little bit?
Yep. Well, you made the motion.
I made the motion for Tony to be the chair of the board.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations, Tony.
Oh. I have sign-in sheet. Anybody attending the meeting should sign the sign-in sheet. We need to vote to have a clerk to keep records of the take minutes for the meeting.
Did you need to use this pen?
Yeah.
You clerk.
I can clerk, yes. Is
So
that okay with you, Stephen?
Yeah, that sounds good. Thank you.
is there anyone here from the public to speak about anything that is not on this agenda for this evening? At public hearings, abandoned building, making special one day for Food Truck Fridays.
I can move down here if you want.
Come on.
So my name is Matt Tarlecki. I'm with Abandoned Building Brewery. We are applying for special one-day licenses for the dates we have listed on the application. Would you like me to go through those dates for you?
Yeah.
So we have a total of, I think it's 17 one-days we're applying for here at once. The first one is on May 11th. The time for that would be from noon to 10 p.m. That's for our 10th anniversary party. The other dates are all the same time from 5 till 10 p.m. Those dates are May 24th and May 31st, June 7th, June 14th, June 28th, July 12th, July 26th, August 9th, August 23rd, September 6th, the 13th, the 20th, the 27th, and then in October it's the 11th, the 18th, and the 25th.
So this is your usual summer fall.
Yep, they're going to be held at the same location as before, in the parking lot behind 142 Pleasant Street. We'll be using the same system we've been having in the past. The area will be roped off. with one entrance and exit area that will have staff at checking IDs and giving wristbands to people who are over 21.
Okay.
There's a hand raised on the screen too. I don't know if that's a question. Rich.
Lindsay, it's Lindsay.
It's Lindsay.
Oh,
Hi, Tony. And to the board, I just want to advise the board moving forward, we need to open and close each public hearing. So you would make a motion to open the hearing and then a motion to close it, I believe. And City Council President can correct me if I'm wrong.
That's
So we
correct.
would need to, okay, yeah, we need to open each public hearing. So for each special one day, for any type of application, you need to make a motion to open it and then to close it as well. And I don't think we did that for this hearing.
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing for abandoned building, speaking special one days.
And I will second the motion.
All right.
To vote. Have to vote. Have to take a vote of opening the public hearing.
Vote to open the meeting,
The public hearing.
The public hearing.
public hearing. Yes,
There you
okay.
go.
Aye.
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 So, I already heard from Matt. Nothing's changed. You have all your ducks in order.
You said they'd be wristbands for 21 plus.
Correct. Yeah.
And how many people will you have
On staff or attending the events.
doing the ID check and crowd control?
We usually have our full staff on attendance for these, so it's usually between 8 to 10 people. So there's usually 2 people at the entrance tent, and the rest of the staff are working the event or doing crowd control.
I'm not sitting in a good place right now.
Um,
Is he, do you have any other questions?
I do
No.
not. Stephen,
And the other members, do you have any questions?
I do not, but I see that Lindsay has raised her hand. Do you want to
Okay.
say something, Lindsay?
Yeah, so I just generally fill the board in on each application. Matt is a long time applicant here. He comes before the board every year for his food truck Fridays. His application is completed with payment, tip certification, liquor liability, and a site plan. That is all in our Permit Eyes electronic system. So if the board were to approve the applications tonight, I would be able to put electronic signatures on those applications and process them through our Permit Eyes portal. So just to update the board, his application was complete and on time for the agenda.
So, any further discussion? No.
We're going to make a motion to approve the license, I believe.
do I make the motion?
Make a motion.
I make a motion to approve the license.
Second,
Third.
all in favor?
Aye.
All
Okay.
right,
Yeah.
all wrapped up with that then? Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So, next is. So we have to
We have to close this and then open another one? Okay.
make a motion to close the, public hearing for abandoned building brewery.
I'm sorry to interrupt. To make the board aware, we at a public hearing, we have to allow the public speak time as well during any public hearing we hold. So during the special one days, or any application, we're going to open the public hearing. We're going to allow the applicant to speak. We're going to allow the board to have conversation among each other or with the public, or with the applicant. And then you're going to make a motion to either approve the license or not, and then close the public hearing.
Anybody here from the public to speak to this application? No? So I think we already make the motion again to
Make the
close the
motion to
public.
close.
Second, All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Make a motion to open the public hearing for city space application, speaking special 1 days for 2 events.
Hello.
Hi.
I'll second the motion.
Oh.
Thank you. I'm Burns Maxey with City Space. It's good to be here and thank you for stepping up to be on this committee. We have 2 applications for 2 special 1-day licenses for City Space, which is the nonprofit that manages Old Town Hall as a center for the arts. The 2 days are tomorrow, 4/3/24 for a Arrive at 5 chamber networking event from 5 to 7 p.m. and a concert on 4/6/24 from 7 to 11 p.m. It's Kwankwa and Habina. I have an updated liability here. Our liability insurance ended right in between the 2 events. So here's my updated insurance, as well as additional tip certification folks that'll be on site.
Ferns, you'll have to upload that through the portal. We don't take any paper applications anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what that's.
Find out.
We let it be there, but you guys get.
A source.
I know. It's the worst part.
There we go. Okay. Do I need to read that, Stephen?
I'm not sure. I think I lost the feed there for a moment.
Okay. I submitted additional tip certifications and an updated insurance liability to insurance because ours ended in between the 2 events. We have 2 events coming up. One is on 4/3/24. That's tomorrow. It's an Arrive at 5 chamber event that'll be happening in Old Town Hall. And the other one is on April 5th from 7 to 11 p.m. That's a concert with Habina and Kwankwa.
Yeah, sorry, I did get that much, and I also heard that you have updated tips information and the liability that sort of fell between the 2 dates. And then you're going to submit that to the portal, and that's okay with Lindsay to do that?
I couldn't submit it to the portal with the application, so I have paper copies here.
So you should be able to go into your Permit Eyes application and submit that. We don't take any paper documents for the application. It's all in the portal.
Okay.
You should be able to go in it and do an attachment.
Okay, I tried that. It didn't let me do that.
Okay. You would need to reach out to the Permit Eyes contact in your portal because it's not a city-run program. So I apologize for that.
Okay.
Is this going to delay the our approval of this? Does it have to be in the portal before we vote?
It does have to be in the portal, but I don't think it has to be in there before you vote. If Burns has the documents there and we already had documents submitted, I think it would be okay for the board to say that it's approved.
Okay,
at
good.
this time.
Thanks, Lindsay.
You have any questions?
I do not have any questions. Thank you.
I don't either.
Okay. Anyone here from the public? No. Make a motion to approve the 1-day special events for City Space.
Second that.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you.
Make a motion to close the public hearing for City Space.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, make a motion to open the public hearing for Easthampton Rod and Gun Club speaking special 1 days, May 25 and 27 fishing.
How you doing? I'm Matthew Bishop, president of Easthampton. Sorry, my head.
Yeah.
I second the
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm Matthew Bishop, president of Easthampton Rod and Gun. We're looking for the weekend of May 25th through the 27th for a fishing derby. The weekend of the 14th through the 16th for another fishing derby. The other date, I forgot to mark it on my phone. It was for a 1 day for a veterans benefit party. I believe that was in June 8th, maybe.
We have that listed for June 8th, Matt.
It is, thank you. Yeah, June 8th. It's just a 1 day event for a few hours to raise some money for the little veterans program that we have with the club. So that's pretty much what we're looking for.
And so the board knows, Easthampton Rod and Gun Club, Matt Bishop, all 3 applications were submitted and it completed in full with site plans, liquor liability, tip certification, and payment.
You did get all of that, Lindsay? Because I noticed there was some confusion on one of them.
Yeah, I think with the influx of applications, I went through them again today and I noticed that every single application had what we needed and required. So thank you for that.
Yep, no problem.
So, any other questions? Anyone?
no.
No? Or make a motion to approve?
Seconded.
In favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Is the board making a motion to approve all 3 applications
Yes.
at this time? Okay, thank you.
Make a motion to close the public hearing for Easthampton Rod and Gun Club.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, make a motion to open the public hearing for Pulaski Club application seeking change of manager.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Somebody,
Good afternoon. I'm Ed LaPrade, president of Pulaski Club. We had a manager that was out to pursue other interests, and I was appointed president back in February, and I will be overseeing the day-to-day and operation of the Pulaski Club, and we're looking to change the name on the liquor license.
okay. Change of manager. Okay. Any questions?
All right, what was your name again?
Edward LaPrade,
What's the last name?
LaPrade,
How do you spell that?
LaPrade.
Thank you. I don't have any other questions.
Lindsay, did you want to say something? So you raised your hand.
Yeah, thank you, Stephen. I just wanted to fill the board in on this application. So for change of manager applications that come before us, these are required by the ABCC anytime the license manager is changing on the premises for licensees. And Pulaski has notably gone through quite a few managers in the last several years. So Edward and I spoke and thought it would be in the best interest of the club that he become the manager now that he is working as president of the club as well. The application was complete on time and he went through his due diligence process with this. So they should be all set as long as the board was able to review the application in full and make sure each page was signed and all the documents were there. I did check it myself and I believe that they were.
Any other questions? Anyone from the public? You want to make a motion to approve?
I will make the motion to approve the change of name
manager.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Make a motion to close the, public hearing for Pulaski Club change of manager.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay.
Lindsay,
Real quick.
your hand-
Yeah, real quick before we move on to the next public hearings, I think we missed a special one day for Riverside Industries, who's seeking a special one day for April 26th auction.
Yeah, we did. Okay. I'll make a motion to open the, public hearing for Riverside Industries speaking a special one day.
Hello.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. I was waiting patiently.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Hello, my name is Marcus Jones. I work for Riverside Industries, and we are seeking a one-day pour permit for our 20th anniversary Riverside auction. This is the live auction portion of our fundraising event. This is the 20th year we've held this event, and we're going to be holding it on April 26th. That's a Friday, beginning at 6 p.m. in our space in our building directly across the street here. The food and beverage service of the event will take place in our courtyard, and then we will have the live auction where food and beverage will not be provided inside of the building, beginning at 7:45. I will have roughly 15 members of our staff on site to manage the crowd, manage logistics, and to be a central point to check IDs. And then we will also have Abandoned Building and their representatives pouring beer and checking IDs, as well as Glendale Ridge Winery doing the same for their product.
Any questions?
Sorry, how many staff did you say were on site?
Roughly 15. And a bunch of volunteers.
Tony, I didn't get the application. I haven't, I think it must have been sort of added a little late. So I don't have that in front of me. I don't know if that means I can vote on this or not.
Stephen, this is a special one day, so this is one of the ones that was in the portal. This isn't for an ABCC application, so you wouldn't have seen this application, I don't believe. I didn't send what was in Permitize. Generally, what happens is I let the board know if the application was complete. This is the same as we just did for Abandoned Building and City Space and Easthampton Rod and Gun. So the application for Riverside, yeah. So I don't think I sent that one along, but it was added to the agenda.
Great. I'm just saying I haven't seen it yet, and I don't have access to it. Is that okay? Am I able to vote on this?
You are. I don't send the special one day applications to the board because they're done in our Permitize portal. So what I do is I let you know if the application was complete, and the RSI application was complete. And one of the things that we have ran into in the past with Riverside's auction is confusion around who can make the application. Because as we just saw, Abandoned Building came forward for their Food Truck Fridays, and oftentimes whoever is serving the alcohol or the wholesaler of the alcohol will apply for the application. But I did check with the city solicitor, and it's appropriate for Riverside to apply for their annual auction and have vendors there. So their application is considered complete and paid for.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. We don't have anybody from the public?
No.
No.
I move to approve.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Make a motion to close the public hearing for Riverside Industries seeking a special one day.
Thank you very much.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right.
So Tony, on the upcoming applications, I'd be happy to preempt the board on what's going on, if that would be helpful.
Yes, please.
Sure. So up next, we have Fort Hill Brewery. Well, I guess you should open the meeting, right? Sorry, open the public hearing.
Motion's open.
We're all doing it together here.
Fort Hill Brewery application seeking extension of premises.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Aye. Okay.
Thank you. So to let the board know, during the COVID-19 pandemic, the governor had put in some orders that allowed our local licensees to expand on their business operations to do outdoor service outside of their licensed premises, along with things like to-go alcohol, which did expire yesterday. So the ABCC and the local boards let licensees know if they wanted to extend the premises permanently that they would have to file these extension of premises. So during the pandemic, the LLA did approve an extension of premises for Fort Hill Brewery, which is the application you should have in front of you or have already seen. And they did complete the application and go through the due process. So it is all set, I believe, on the local side and ready to be sent to the state upon approval.
Lindsay, again, the document that I received, and I might have missed something on this, but on the required documents, it said, you guys hear me?
At work, I would be that first.
Like in the
Like
computer?
she
There
lived
you
the
go.
other day, yeah.
Am I back?
Yeah.
You're back now.
Okay. Yeah, so on the application, with the necessary documents, the only thing that I didn't see there, and I may have missed it in the fine print, was, and may have already been part of the previous application from June of 20. But the floor plan and the abutters notification, are they there? I didn't see them.
So we should have received receipt of the abutters notification certified mailings. I don't know, Eric, if you or Sue have those with you today. And then the site plan, we do have, but it should have been included in the current application as well. So I would imagine that's something you can grab. I probably have one saved in my computer in my office, or Eric could provide us another one.
Okay, so we have a floor plan of the previous extension that the state granted.
Yeah.
Probably on, and the abutters notification, is that, did I miss that, or have I not seen that yet?
No, I don't think we have seen that. Eric, do you or Sue have receipts from the certified mailings for the abutters notice?
All the abutters are here, so they must have found out somehow.
Right, but isn't a notification required? Or is it? I'm new to this, so if I'm asking silly questions, don't mind me. But it was on the list of required documents for the license for the permit. I mean, for the extension, and I didn't receive it. It may have been left off, but it is. It's my understanding that's required.
Yeah. So what we have applicant.
I do have the abutters notice, and actually, funny thing is, my two abutters are the northeast for the council, because I guess roads don't count. Only on Jeff Bagg's planning board do they count. But I do have a signed copy here of the northeast for Center of Youth, and obviously, as I am Birch Family Farm, I also approve. So yes, I do have proof that all abutters have been notified.
Perfect. Eric, those certified mailing receipts need to stay with our office. If you could leave those with one of the board members tonight.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
But if I remember correctly, roads don't count.
Whatever the assessor gave you for an abutters list is what we go by.
Right.
And the assessor gave you two Northeast Center for Youth and your own building as the abutters, Eric?
No, well, I own the other property, so yes, my two abutters have been notified.
The two, yeah, just to be clear, the two abutters that the assessor has listed,
or Birch Family Farm, and Northeast Center for Youth and Families.
Thank you. There's a gentleman named John Hayden who's raising his hand to speak. But we're not quite there yet, John. I think we're still dealing with Eric's application, and then we'll get to public speaking, okay? All right. Sorry, guys. Thanks. Continue, please.
I'll take the floor.
Yes.
Yeah, if you have something to say, yeah.
So we've gone in front of the planning board. We've hashed out all the differences between my various neighbors. We've complied with the ordinance or not stipends, but let's say the conditions that were required by the planning board. Historically, we've been here several times before. Historically, we have the judgment of the planning board has been, I guess you guys have accepted that their judgment was good enough. So I believe this is a mere formality in terms of approving this.
Okay. I don't have any questions. Do you have any questions?
So this has been before the planning board, and the planning board has approved it?
Yes.
And I'm sorry, Barbara, keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Rebecca.
Sorry.
Barbara is my mother's name. So go ahead.
The plant, so on the application, there's a mention on page 5 of an outdoor stage. I'm assuming the planning board approved that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No other questions?
I'm done.
Anybody from the public want to speak?
Someone named John Hayden with a raised hand.
Yeah, hi, I'm John Hayden, 19 Fort Hill Road. According to the Axis GIS map for Easthampton, we are abutters, as well as the Kales at, I don't know, next door and across the street.
John, could you repeat your address, please?
19 Fort Hill Road.
If I may respond to that. Unfortunately, I may not necessarily agree with it because I do think it's kind of a sham, but legally they are not my abutters because the road makes them not my abutter. And I guess at 19, he's not even close to being close to 30 Fort Hill Road. So I don't know what John's problem is.
Well, we don't either yet. Right. So let's let John explain it.
Well, I wouldn't say I have a problem. I'm just saying that according to, we are across the street, and according to the Axis GIS online map with the tax lots, et cetera, we're listed as abutters. And we didn't receive any notification at all of any of this.
Lindsay, thank you, John. Yeah. Lindsay, do you know, what is this Access GSI map? GIS
so
map?
The GIS access is where anyone from the public can go on and view an address and see abutters. However, I would like to note that the assessor does make the determination for liquor licensing on who the abutters are. And there are things that are taken into consideration, whether it be residential areas, a school zone, and matters such as that. So the licensing board doesn't receive notice of who the abutters are, but that's why we require the certified mailings. Mm-hmm. And we could always cross-check with the assessor's office to verify that those were the only 2 addresses given or what have you.
All right. So what I'm hearing is that the assessor makes the call on whether or not an abutter is actually an abutter.
Correct. And they base that on zones and other conditions, which it's been a little difficult to understand over my 6 years here, but we could always ask the assessor on why they came up with that determination.
Sure, but they have, which is the important part. They've made the call and they have identified the two previously mentioned addresses as abutters for this application. Correct?
Yeah, I think part of the issue there is that each side of the street is zoned differently. His side, I believe, is industrial, and the other side of the street is residential. So I think that's why the only abutters are in the industrial side of the street.
Yeah. Well, so that I understand what you're saying. The tax assessor makes that determination and not you guys. It does seem a little strange though, doesn't it?
Well, John, absent knowing what the reasoning was, I couldn't comment on whether it's strange or not, but yeah, it seems, you're close enough. You would think you're in a butter, but apparently the assessor who has final word on this has made the call that you aren't in terms of this license application.
Okay.
So unless, if we want to take it up with the assessor, I think, or Lindsay, do you have something you can add to this, please?
Yeah, just to give the board and the public a little more understanding of direct abutters. This has also come up on Cottage Street public hearings for licensing. So when we opened Marigold and we heard their application, their abutters were only the person on the left and the right side of them, despite all of the businesses around them on Cottage Street. So that was the determination of the assessor's office as well. So there are times where it works out as the abutters are only the people who directly abut your property.
Right. Thank you.
And so while some people might not receive direct certified mailing notifications, that's why we do have the public hearing agendas listed and published online as well.
Thanks, Lindsay. So John, that's what we got for you, I think.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
No other questions? Oh.
Actually, Laura Fisher is in the meeting and she wants to say something. Hey, Laura. Sorry,
Hey
Tony.
there.
I just for me to see who's raising their hand on my screen.
Hi there.
Hey, Laura.
My name's Laura Fisher. I live at 61 Clap. I don't have necessarily a problem with this proposal. I'm just trying to understand the scope of what's before the licensing board and just wondering if maybe Mr. Berzins could explain, is there anything new added to this? I'm having trouble understanding, will there be a bar set up outside, or will there be, is there anything new, or is this just keeping in place what we've all sort of become used to? That's my question. That's all.
The second one.
Yeah, Laura, if you didn't hear it, Eric said it's the second one. Apparently they've had a permit extension since June of 2020, when the state allowed places to just have more outside seating. So they've had this since that date, and they're just applying to make it permanent. So it's been there for 4 years.
Yeah, no, I understand what's there. I just, from what was on the agenda, it just said expansion of premises, and I didn't see any plans or anything, so I was just curious. But thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Anything else? No? I'll make a motion to approve Fort Hill Brewery application. I gotta close, or is there somebody else?
Hey, Lindsay.
Hi, sorry, Eric, I think it would be helpful if the board could hear, and it sounds like if I can echo what Laura's saying too. Is it just going to be you're serving alcohol outside, or are you planning to construct any type of bar outside with the building department permitting process, or are you just expanding your space outdoors as it has been to have service outside during things like Barks and Brews?
We're just going to adhere to what the planning board's decision. We're just following through on our planning board application.
So I don't think that the local licensing board has any of the planning board's decisions.
I believe that the planning board's decisions are in the application that have been given to you. Actually, I stand corrected. All right, so what would you like me to explain to you, Lindsay?
Just just the plan for outdoor service, the plan for this extension. So while it has been approved that you have this extension of premises for licensing, I think it would be helpful for everyone to hear what the plan is for service of alcohol in this space, aside from planning board approvals or conditions.
We don't intend on having an outdoor bar. However, I guess we could, but as it currently stands, we don't. But we will have a window that serves the outdoor from the inside. We do have, everything's enclosed. Everything was approved by a previous committee. So it's not necessarily like, we're not doing anything new. From the planning board's, actually, no, we do have actually, that's incorrect. We do have the planning board's approval notice within our application. If you'd like me to read it to you, I would be happy to.
Lindsay, I don't have that as part of my Fort Hill premise extension document. Do you have that, and is it necessary for us to have it?
The board should have the application in front of them, the paper application, which should include whatever Eric says is in front of us. So if members of the board at the table could take a look at that, and I did email scan what I had over to you earlier this afternoon. I'm not sure if you were able to see that yet, Stephen. And I am not versed on the planning board's language or decisions around anything for Mr. Burzen's business right now. So I would rely on the licensing board to take a look at that and make decisions based on the planning board's approval, because I know there is special permitting for Fort Hill, but I'm sorry, I'm just not aware of what that special permitting is. And I'm just going based on previous licensing board administration approval of this extension of premises.
Right. And I do have the document in front of me, and I'm looking at the list of required documents at the top.
It's not.
And we don't really see, there's nothing in there about having to attach any sort of planning committee documents that I see. So I don't think on this list of required documents, is, I guess, to put a fine point on it, I don't see anything about that document being required. Is that the case?
No. Yeah, it wouldn't be a state required document. It would be up to the local board to require something regarding special permitting from any other department.
Right. And we don't have that listed. So I think we're all set, right? I mean, it's just not listed as a required document for this permit. Correct?
Not by the state. No, the state would never require other department. That would be up to the local board to require that.
And do they?
Well, you're the local board.
All right then.
We're doing it.
All right.
Do you see that?
Okay, good then.
All right. So we're good?
I think so. Yeah.
Make a motion to approve the Fort Hill Brewery application for extension of premises.
A second.
In favor?
Aye.
Okay. I guess I can make a motion to close the public hearing for Fort Hill Brewery.
Thank you, folks.
Second.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So make a motion to open the public hearing for a small oven application transfer from Old Jarvis license.
Second.
Okay.
Hey, Lindsay, you got something to say there? Sorry, Tony.
Nope, just again, filling in the board about the application. So this is a transfer application, which means we're just literally transferring the license, including the current license number from one entity to another. And Amanda has submitted and completed the application for the transfer at 40.5 Holyoke Street.
Okay, got that.
Okay. Any questions?
Nope.
Hi, everybody. Can you tell us what it's for? Yeah, so I'm currently purchasing the property for 8.5, and it's going to be kind of an extension of Small Oven a little bit, but it's going to be its own entity called Darlings. It's going to be a bar at night, and coffee and bread and all of our pastries and things during the day. It'll be closed for a couple hours in between while it switches over, and we'll be open probably until like 9 on the weekdays, close on Mondays, and just have like some nice food and drinks and things. Yeah.
And that's on Holyoke Street?
Yeah.
So, Lindsay, what is this sign LAC form?
Great question. So the LAC form is on every application that you've received tonight except for special one days. So this will be for any ABCC license, and each board member needs to sign this. So there's a little portion on the left-hand side of the first page of an application, and the LAC form is something I have to create and the board has to sign. So Rebecca and Tony, for the alteration of premises, change of manager, and Small Ovens application now, you should be signing the LAC form.
Okay. So that is not this one. Where's that one?
It should be the first page of your license application is where I put it.
That's transfer.
So you have your list of things that are required, and then the first page of the application should be the LAC form for signature.
So I have this information for Small Kevin INC.
That's, yeah. Yep. Okay. That's the.
I wasn't sure if it's a typo. Okay. So then the last page is what we need to sign.
First page.
First page.
It's really, it's kind of this, it's the first page of the application on the bottom left, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the LAC form isn't a part of what the applicant does. It's a part of what I do for the board. And then that becomes a part of the completed application. So the board would sign that. And Stephen, once Tony and Rebecca sign this, I can email scan it to you tomorrow for a signature online through DocuSign or whatever, if that would work for you. So we have all 3 signatures. Once I have those, then I upload this to the state's portal for their final approval.
That sounds good.
So Tony and I have signed it. Almost. Do we need to date it or just sign it?
Just signature after your motion to approve it.
Oh, I move to approve the transfer of license.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
So we need to do the same for the change of manager.
Yep, and for the extension of premises as well.
And do we need to close this section for Amanda?
Yes.
Make a motion to close the public hearing for Amanda.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Okay.
Aye.
Well, I want the change of manager. No, this is change of manager. Yes. So I signed this one.
So is there anything else that we need to do on this particular? Or is it just to transfer the license?
So the LAC form is a formality that's going to be on every application except for special one days. And the board is going to have to sign this. And this is just the information that's going through with the application. You're not signing the transfer. You're not signing the change. You're just signing the certification form that we're sending to the state. And then the state will determine if that goes through.
Okay, thank you. So, thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
And we are out of the public hearing section of the meeting.
Did we close? Do we need a motion to close the public hearing? I move to close the public hearing section of the meeting.
I second that. All in favor?
Aye.
So those are all done.
Do we need to deal with this meeting dates?
Yeah, so what we have next on your agenda is to set, we have set meeting dates for the year that I had set with the previous board based around my availability and scheduling. However, this of course can be changed to the current board's availability and scheduling needs as well. I do need to change the 5/14 meeting date if I am wanted there for clerking and support, because I have a conflict in my schedule now. So I am available during normal business office hours for a meeting anytime, but I understand that that can be difficult for the public as well as our volunteer board members. So other times I would be available are varying.
So our options for this are Monday, May 13th at 4.
Correct. We'd be moving back the May date by one day. Instead of Tuesday, we'd be doing it on Monday, if that would work for the board.
I don't have any conflicts right now.
Does that work for you,
We'll
Tony?
change it to the Monday, May 13th. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, that works.
Great, thank you. And then so the feedback we've received over the years that I've been here is that having the meeting dates listed on the website for the year is very helpful to our local businesses, especially the ones doing special one days, so they know the agenda deadlines that they have to submit applications by. So that's why we've kind of done it this way instead of doing it each month. But we can do it however the board prefers. I would just suggest that we do try and schedule for the year out as best as we can.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have those set meeting dates. If the board is okay with those, we can keep those now. We can revisit them as we go along throughout the meetings. And also, the board has the ability to decide whether they want to be fully in person, fully remote, or hybrid at each meeting. Again, this doesn't have to be determined now unless you wanted to. You could determine it each meeting before. So we could say for May, we're doing hybrid, we're doing fully remote, or we're doing fully in person, whichever works best for the board.
Well, I would say it's a really nice thing to have. I wish I was there in person, and I don't see any reason why I won't be in for these future meetings. But it is sort of a nice option to have if you're away on business or something and you want to still take part. Sometimes it might be necessary to even. Well, yeah, I guess we have to have two people there, two bodies there for a quorum, correct?
Correct. So the order is that we can do hybrid meetings in the city as long as a quorum's present, and if city council president can confirm or correct.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Well, Rebecca and Tony, what do you think? Do you want to just request? Because apparently we have to request permission to do this. You want to just request it for the year? Just so we
have-
have the option.
Have hybrid meetings going forward?
Yeah, just so we have the option, just in case something comes up. I mean, it's,
That sounds like a good idea.
okay, Lindsay, do we have to do anything special? Do we just vote on that?
I don't believe anything special needs to happen. It's just the decision of the board, but the council president can correct me if I'm wrong. And to support the board, I would go ahead and handle that request with technology and make sure that's added to your agendas moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Perfect. And then the next thing I had was just updates on processes, fees, and other new member questions or needs. I understand that there has been a lot for you guys to work on today, and I appreciate you coming on and doing this service. And I know it was a lot to digest today, so happy to push this to the next meeting if you wanted to, or happy to address anything now.
Well, I'm actually at work right now. So if it's nothing pressing, and the other board members don't mind, are you suggesting that we can get to that next meeting, Lindsay?
I think that would be an appropriate request at this time. Just there's a lot to digest with this board and everything going on with applications. So I think it's appropriate, and that would give everyone time to come up with any list of questions that they have for the next meeting, anything they see when reviewing my mass amounts of emails that they want to discuss.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Tony, Rebecca, are you guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And just all the paperwork from tonight, if that could just be left in the mailbox on my door, that would be really helpful. And then I can send things over for signature, upload things in the state portal tomorrow.
Okay.
Where did these notes go to?
I am happy to take those and put those into meeting minutes to submit to the city clerk. And
you can read my scroll.
Well, you can type them if you'd like. I'm happy to put them in format or give you a format that we've used. And actually, I wouldn't submit them to the city clerk. What happens is we put them on the May agenda for approval. So everyone would see the minutes typed up, and you would vote to approve the minutes or make any adjustments to them. And then I would send it to the city clerk for posting on the city website for public.
Okay. So I can leave these minutes in
Just put it in
the mailbox on your door?
Yeah, put it in the
Sure
folder.
And if you have questions, you can reach out.
Okay.
I didn't catch quite all of the openings and closings, but they did happen.
Okay, I can review the video because we do have to record that. And then the sign-in sheet should just go along with that, so I have the correct spelling of anyone's names.
Is that this? That's the sign-in sheet?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Awesome, thank you.
Okay. I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second that motion.
All in favor? Aye.
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 See you in May.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.